Person of interest in the Jacob Wetterling abduction is scheduled to go on trial this July on child pornography charges. But now Danny Heinrich is facing another legal challenge. This past week, Heinrich was sued by another victim, Jared Scheierl, who was just 12 years old when he was abducted and sexually assaulted in Cold Spring, Minnesota, less than 15 miles from where Jacob Wetterling would be abducted 10 months later. Investigators have long believed the two cases were connected. Then last summer, a bombshell. New DNA testing revealed that Danny Heinrich's DNA was a match in Scheierl's case. But despite the match, Heinrich can't be prosecuted for that crime because the statute of limitations has expired. Last week, Jared Scheierl filed a civil lawsuit against Danny Heinrich, charging him with sexual battery and false imprisonment. That civil lawsuit could result in answers not just in Jared's case, but in the Wetterling case and a series of unsolved sexual assaults on boys in Paynesville in the 1980s. And joining me now to talk about the lawsuit is Jared Scheierl and his attorney, Doug Kelly. Thank you both for coming in.
Good morning, Esme.
All right, well, let me begin with you. Why did you decide to take this step?
Just to reserve an option for a long-awaited answer that I've been looking, or an opportunity to speak to Danny Heinrich's directly. But it was I took a lot of time considering the pros and cons, and chose to go this path.
All right. And he talked about preserving options. There was a deadline here that you had to meet. Tell us about that, Doug.
The deadline under the Minnesota Child Victims Act would expire on May 25th of this month. So when Jared came to me and we discussed it, we said we need to move, and we need to move quickly. There was that little window of opportunity that was open in order to preserve his options, and so we've done that.
All right. I know that you're going to wait until after the child porn case this July, but what potentially can you do in a civil lawsuit? Can he subpoena witnesses, including Danny Heinrich?
He certainly can.
And you can.
We can subpoena them and have them sit for depositions. And as you mentioned in your lead-in, they came to Jared and said the good news is we found his DNA. The bad news is we can't prosecute him. This way will allow Jared to sit across the table from his assailant and ask him questions that Jared's wanted to ask for 27 years. In addition, we can go to other people and other witnesses that perhaps Jared has some insights into questions that they should be asked. And hopefully they will shed light on not only Jared's case, but maybe some of the other cases that have remained unsolved.
Now, for years, one of the lead theories is that your case was linked to the Wetterling case, and possibly a theory that you helped advance to a series of unsolved Paynesville cases. You've been saying that for more than 2 years. That's the theory now that authorities are going on. I know you've talked to the Wetterlings. Do you hope that this case, your civil lawsuit, can help bring answers for Jacob and these Paynesville cases as well?
Absolutely. You know, a great amount of time was spent researching and trying to understand necessary details pertaining to my case, along with the other cases I believe that are associated with my case. And it also, you know, there's still that young 12-year-old boy deep inside that still has a level of fear, that you know, I'm doing it for that particular part of me as well. It's a chance for closure and continued efforts in solving other unsolved cases.
At some point, because of this, you're going to be able to sit across from Danny Heinrich with your attorney. He'll be under oath. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, I have many thoughts, but the opportunity itself and the chance to direct somebody whom I feared for so long, and then learn to overcome that fear and move forward with my life, and then again having done an extensive amount of research over the last 3 years, just gives me, there's so many questions that I do or would like to have answers to, in understanding who this person is or why he chose to you know, take advantage of a 12-year-old boy at that point in time.
Doug, you're a former assistant U.S. attorney, you're a former prosecutor, now you're obviously a top defense attorney. You get Danny Heinrich in front of you. I mean, realistically, is he going to sit there and open up and answer questions for you?
Don't know. You can't really predict. I think many might think that he would avail himself of his Fifth Amendment rights not to testify.
And would he have a Fifth Amendment right, even though the statute of limitations is closed in this case?
Well, it's open on Jacob Wetterling's case, though, because there's no statute of limitations on murder, so he would probably still be able to invoke it. But I still think, as you just heard from Jared, just sitting across the table and knowing that you at least had the authority to bring him here and make him sit in front of you, I think we'll have a sense of closure for Jared.
And how about all these other people? Because I think what was so shocking when some of these documents came out in October after Heinrich's arrest is how much people knew, how much Heinrich was on investigators' radar. Can you get these investigators and other witnesses, do they have to come if you subpoena them and talk to you?
Yes, for the most part they do, and we do not want to interfere with this ongoing pornography case that's going to be up for trial in July. But yes, we're going to ask a lot of questions to people, and Jared has done just a tremendous amount of homework on connecting the dots in all these different cases, and I was very impressed when I first met with him about his grasp of the evidence. So yes, we will be trying to look at some of those other cases.
And I know you've spoken to the Wetterlings. I've actually called them as well. Just tell everybody what their reaction to this has been.
They're 100% supportive and you know, very encouraging, very positive in the direction that we're going, and understand that we're all looking for the same answers and trying to help them you know, locate or understand what happened to Jacob. And that initially was the reason that drove me to the amount of, you know, investigating or researching that I have done, is the fact that I am a parent now, and the fact that I couldn't fathom having to go through that or experience their sense of loss. And anytime a life is, you know, taken, it leaves a void in everybody who knew that particular person, and that spirit, I guess, is what drives a lot of us to do the tireless work that we continue to do.
Well, I don't know many people who've done the extraordinary amount of work that you've done. I'm not sure people realize how much work you put into this for years now. But thank you so much. And obviously, Doug Kelly and Jared Scheierl will be following the developments in this civil lawsuit, which actually could be really remarkable in a lot of ways. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right.